but welcome, family, to Let's Talk with Iorton. How we doing? How was your weekend? Welcome to another conversation about redefining the culture. We'll definitely give our reviews on the PTD documentary. Did you watch it on Netflix?
No,
No. So I'll definitely have to share a little, but you know more about it.
Yes, I know something about
Just
it.
to, okay, all right. We'll talk more
Yes.
about that and how we can definitely differentiate the art from the artist.
The art from the artist.
Yes, because he had some good songs,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So
Yes, we'll dive into
we'll
that.
definitely get into that. But it's
Yes,
nasty. See, there they go. Request from the one and only Sagara.
yes. And today is the day we're listening to Nasty Seed, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Because this guy is talented, all the way from south of Africa, by the way.
Come
And
on.
his music is amazing. If you're a fan
Right.
of hip hop, you definitely love his music.
Right.
Yes, all the way even from his one of his biggest hits, Runtown, together with Runtown.
Yes.
We also have Strings and Bling.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he's a good guy.
You're a big fan.
I'm a big fan of Nasty.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of Nasty.
But I hope you're doing okay. I hope you had a great weekend.
I had an amazing
You
weekend.
did an amazing weekend. Okay, we'll come and talk more about that after we listen to this super banger by Nasty C. Come out with this.
Yes, you've gotten a glimpse of what my
Oh, I'm playing it
weekend has
tomorrow. I'm playing it in my
been.
song. I'm playing it in my house. I love it.
Yes, that's how my
Yeah.
weekend has been.
Mhm.
Listening to a lot of Nasty C, everybody. Yeah, so there they go.
Welcome, family, to another conversation here with us on Let's Talk with Iorton. We're always talking about redefining Africa as we redefine ourselves. And my name is Iorton Longoria, sending you so much love and light because it's always a great time of your life.
Yes.
Yes, and I'm celebrating today. I'm super grateful for how the year has been, grateful for life and family and opportunity, and the fact that I can wake up every morning super healthy and have a very fabulous day.
Yes.
So I'm really, 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 really grateful for this far. And God willing, I'm very excited to see how the next month, literally the next year is going to be. But nothing but winning and dominating. You said your weekend was fabulous, listening to a lot of Nasty C and a lot of things have been happening. Well, let's talk about the culture, first of all, because you've talked about Nasty C. He's an amazing hip hop. I think he's an hip hop artist.
Yes.
Amazing individual over there. And we were talking about how we can differentiate the artists from the art.
Yes.
Because we had this P. Diddy documentary that came out. Shout out to 50 Cent.
Curtis
Oh my
Johnson,
gosh.
whatever his name is.
Yeah. And it's so funny because there was these actually posts that I posted that actually made sense, which actually means finding out that 50 Cent agreed to do an interview with ABC News station only because it's one of the few stations they're allowed to watch in prison. He's a menace, and he might be the most dedicated hater.
Yes,
all time.
50 Cent. 50 Cent is an asshole, and we love him for that.
Yes.
And never be on the wrong side fighting against 50 Cent.
Yeah.
He will
Oh my
find you.
gosh.
Even if
Absolutely.
you hide in the pits of hell, he will follow you there.
It's like he has cameras everywhere. So crazy. And the fact that he had to do an interview with ABC
He's
News,
so petty,
knowing that it's the only station they're allowed to watch in prison,
so he did
it's
make
like he
sure.
gotta watch this. And there was this interview, he was asked, like, what do you think Diddy's gonna say
And what was
when
his
he
response?
watches this video? He was like, oh my God, I think he's gonna say this is the most amazing documentary of all time.
Of all time.
Yes.
Greatest documentary of
That's
all
what he said.
time.
I'm gonna find that right away.
His
But
name is P.
Diddy.
whatever Diddy.
But let us know, how can we differentiate art from the artist?
Well,
Because some people get attached to the artists
yes.
and the art, but some they get attached to the art and not the artist.
Well, learning and differentiating from the artist is where you categorically say that yes, we're learning a few things about you here and there. We like to emulate your artistic side, but who you are as a person is
Yeah.
a place or a thing where it's going to be questionable. And we as the people or as the audience
Yeah.
you give us a very difficult task of wanting to differentiate these two, because most of the times the art and the artist are similar, are one and the same thing. If you look at some of the artists we have, some of the music they sing and who
Is it
they
in
are as a
regards to
person,
their personalities? I'm talking about their
yes.
personalities. It's not Sam, it's just different. You can find someone who's really talented, like, oh my gosh. And then you find that who they are, you find out who they are is just very disgusting.
And many of them are like that. Very many of them, several of these artists are like that.
So would you still listen to PTT songs?
Yes, I will,
Mm-hmm.
because this is where you say, and you say categorically, that you learn to differentiate the artist from the art.
Mm-hmm.
Because as much as the art wasn't intended to be made for the purpose or for it to
Okay.
continue enforcing the language or the whatever mysteries this
Mm-hmm.
artist is having as a personality, which are technically not good or bad for
Yeah.
us as a human. So yes, I will continue listening to your music, because I believe your music and who you are as a person were not created to lift each other up or to complement
Okay.
each other. I believe your music was created for you to do something different, and your
Okay.
personality is that way because of something else. It's not that your personality is shit and now your music is shit now.
Okay.
Your personality might be shit, but your music is good.
Do you
So
think sometimes, not even what we're talking about right now, do you think sometimes maybe the fame and the popularity happens so fast that some of the artists have not gotten yet time to work on themselves and basically do a lot of learning and relearning, so everything just becomes like an outburst.
if you're an asshole, if you're an asshole, you're an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot say time will change
Mm-hmm.
anything. If you're given 15 years to prepare to be a to
But
be
some are
to
not
s-
prepared, you know it just happens like dang,
very many people have had
instantly.
very many people have
Yes.
had instant careers they've had,
Yes,
and they have not resulted to being
but
assholes.
some have.
Some have.
Yes.
So be blowing up into the scene is not an excuse for you to become an asshole or for you to become not good,
Even
or
if
for you
it's
to
not
change
about their
negatively.
personality, some don't even know how to use that money in terms of their finances.
Oh, that's true.
You know, they waste it on crap. They end up becoming broke. And you're like, I used to see this person like on TV or listen to them on radio. And what's happening right now? You
Very,
know?
very many. Okay, for artists ending up being broke or in debt, I would say it's more of systemic structure.
Or
That
not.
no. I would
No,
say
my
that
perspective.
because for very many artists, they end up being broke because yes, they spend money on crap, but something makes them spend the money on crap. And I'm gonna use the most famous person example we can ever use in the planet in humanity. I will talk about Michael Jackson, because Michael Jackson suffered a similar fate, because despite him being the king of pop, he was in a lot of debt. He accumulated a lot of debt over his lifetime, and even upon his death, he was a man in a lot of debt. That's why he was doing the "This Is It" tour to pay off his debt. The tour that he was about to do, so that he was last ever performance was in order for him to pay debt. And if you look at that, it all started in the Pepsi commercial where he had an accident. Half of his scalp was burnt. That's why he had to wear wigs too. And from medication and after the surgery and treatment, that's when he developed an addiction to medication and drugs and whatever. So they spend the money on crap. That's drugs, whatever and whatever and whatever. But the system makes them want to spend that. He didn't want to have a drug addiction, but he ended up having one. Same to very many artists. Many of them didn't want to end up being spendthrifts, but someone gets into their head and tells them, "Oh, you've been broke very many years of your
Mm.
life. You need to show people you're rich," and they'll start spending money on garbage. Someone will whisper things that they're not supposed to whisper to their ears. So I will say, being broke in the music industry is systemic. rather than it being an rather than it being individualistic problems.
My take on that, and I respect what you've said right now. My take on that is like, I disagree with that because sometimes, and most times, it's individuals spending money on things that do not matter, not thinking about tomorrow, thinking this fame is going to be here for the rest of their life. And I've had people who I've met definitely trying to deal with this because where they are right now in life, they're regretting, oh my God, I used to spend this amount of money at the club. Now they're wishing they had that money because they want to invest in businesses or name it or be a house owner. But at the time, when the time they had that money, they used to spend it on some reckless stuff, which will definitely not be beneficial to you because I feel like there's this ideology that this will always be here for the rest of my life. And sometimes also is to win people into your life because as I talked about, not working on yourself. Some people have a lot of insecurities and they try to win friends or buy friends with money because they can. And when realizing that when everything is basically scraped off, is no you never had real friends by the end of the day. I want to play this short documentary or video, just a short video. It's like a reel about what I really talked to you about at the time. Okay, that's not it. But I feel like we can definitely be able to differentiate the art from the artist.
Yes.
There is a talk. Okay, they're talking about 50 Cent agreed to do an interview with an ABC news station only because it's one of the few channels they're allowed to watch in prison.
Go, go, go. Never before seen footage of Sean Diddy Combs in the days leading up to his arrest in New York last September. You want to put the stuff in my fanny pack? The exclusive video obtained by Netflix shows Combs debating with his lawyers about strategy. Listen to me. I'm going to get off the phone right now, and I am going to let you professionals look at the situation and come back to me with a solution. No matter what, no matter what nobody said. Let's just here and there, y'all are not working together the right way. We're losing. The footage is part of a new, highly anticipated docuseries by director Alex Stapleton and rapper and executive producer Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, titled Sean Combs: The Reckoning. Was there anything that surprised you when you were watching? I think it was surprising that he actually filmed it. It was very interesting to watch a man who's known for his brand presence. You know, he has a really amazing knack for marketing and all of that, and how he was sort of taking that into account and how he was coming off to the public. The exclusive video also shows Combs in Harlem greeting fans. I need some hand sanitizer. I got. I've been out in the streets amongst the people. Yeah, I gotta take a bath. Like the amount of people that actually I'm coming in contact with, like that's what I have to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like 150 hugs. You're a public person as well, and there was one instance in Harlem, and his reaction when those people went away. Car said, I feel like I need to wash. Like I'm dirt. That was it show you his character. Was that the reason for including it? Yeah. I mean, and what's the odds that you would do that in front of the camera? Like that's one of the moments where he forgot he was on tape. How do you respond to people who say that it's more about the disdain that you have for Sean Combs than it is for giving the victims a platform? What they consider a pre-existing beef, right? For 20 years, right? It's me being uncomfortable with him suggesting that he takes me shopping, or I looked at it like it was like a tester, like maybe you'll come play with me, type of thing, right? And it's not personal. I think it's important to also let people know that the show is not
completely the perspectives of people that did not like Sean. We weren't trying to just get the highlights, the salacious details, that the real goal was to storytell. And not everyone needed to have an allegation to be a part of this project.
The four-part series also features two jurors from Combs' trial who are speaking for the first time about how they reached their mixed verdict, finding Combs guilty of 2 prostitution offenses, but clear of racketeering and sex trafficking charges, both sharing their thoughts on the relationship between Combs and singer Cassie. Juror 75 describing them as two people in love, and Juror 160 saying in part, domestic violence wasn't one of the charges. Cassie, is she a victim in all this?
I believe Cassie's a victim in all this because she came in as such, she's like 18, like 19 years old. In the very beginning, after a while, over time, conditioned for it.
The goal of what the film is trying to do is to let the audience kind of come in to ask questions like, were their decisions colored by certain things, and who got the benefit of the doubt, in that courtroom?
Do you think that hip-hop culture was on trial as much as Sean Combs was?
Not all. Look, if I didn't say anything, you would interpret it as the hip-hop is fine.
Absolutely. If you watch that and follow that, or basically try to understand, like, we didn't know all this was happening before it did happen. And she asked a really, really good question. Does that define the hip hop culture? But he said no. What's your take on that?
So it doesn't define.
Fine with his behaviors. There's no one else being vocal, so he was fine with his behaviors.
Sean Combs was?
Not all. Look, if I didn't say anything, you would interpret it as the hip hop is fine with his behaviors. There's no one else being vocal, so you would look at it and just say, because that mind your business, or let me not say nothing about nothing, or those things, it would allow the entire culture to register as if they're for that behavior.
If Sean Combs watches this, what do you think he's going to feel?
Like, wow, this is amazing.
That's what he said. That's what he said.
Those things, it would allow the entire culture to register as if they're for that behavior.
If Sean Combs watches this, what do you think he's going to feel?
Like, wow, this is amazing. I think he's going to say this is the best documentary I've seen in a long time. Because you'll see people saying that, he may feel a different way about pieces and bits.
Repeat that again.
Because that mind your business, or let me not say nothing about nothing, or those things, it would allow the entire culture to register as if they're for that behavior.
If Sean Combs watches this, what do you think he's going to feel?
Like, wow, this is amazing. I think he's going to say this is the best documentary I've seen in a long time. Because you'll see people saying that, he may feel a different way about pieces and bits of it, but he knows the truth. I think he'll see the truth in it.
Wow, that was some finish right there. Thank you, Robin, for that. Sean Combs.
Absolutely. And I actually believe, in regards to talking about redefining the culture, she'll definitely redefine our African culture also, to what it really, really, really means. I'm going to play a short video of the one and only Paul Kagame, who was basically on this summit. And let's listen in.
And very importantly, we're settling a war that's been going on for decades with millions.
He said we've been settling wars. We've been settling wars. That has been going... Settling wars? Settling wars? It's becoming worse, huh?
For a lot of reasons, but number one is it's our first occasion in this building using it for peace. And it's all about peace, and it's a great honor. And Marco, you've done a fantastic job in getting it ready. But it's a spectacular building, and we all appreciate it. And very importantly, we're settling a war that's been going on for decades with millions and millions of people killed. And these two gentlemen spent a lot of time backstage talking to each other and over at the Oval.
What's your take on this, Sankara? Because it's about delivering peace.
Millions and millions. Well, some of us writers, we understand the use of sarcasm and oxymoron, but if you take it to an extent where you're lying blatantly to the people,
And also, I'm sorry to cut you short. It's the fact that we understand is the way they carry us as Africans. But the thing they don't understand, it's a different kind of generation. They know what's really, really happening.
why is a white man trying to broker peace between two black men?
Thank you. Why is a white man trying to be the mediator?
Between two black men.
Thank you.
He should answer that before he continues with his big beautiful speech. He should tell us what is a white man doing mediating between two black people. He has no interest, he has no affiliation. The United States of America should at no point have any affiliation to Congo or Rwanda or anything happening about in that belt region apart from keeping their noses out of it. But then, since a lot of his best friend, his buddy, is in the electro motor vehicle electricity gari thingy, he has to make sure that his buddy is getting enough, cobalt for his electric powered vehicles and the cobalt batteries. So that's why he might poke his nose where he's not supposed to do so. And then he comes with a barrier and a notion that we are here to deliver a peace while technically we are brokering a deal.
Not actually talking about the fact that there was war in Sudan. Still there?
If they were talking about real peace, it will be with them getting their weapons and their troops out of our soil. Then we will start saying, okay, you guys are talking about peace. You can't talk about peace. If you can't talk about peace and your troops are on ground.
Thank you. In every African country.
Everywhere.
Everywhere, actually.
So you're not a broker of peace. You're not a broker of peace. And
Right.
you know that. Anywhere you've gone, you've not brokered peace. Is that the same peace
There's
you
always
brokered in
chaos.
Somalia?
Talk about that.
Is that the same peace you brokered in Somalia? You're talking about peace brokering peace. Is that the same peace you went to broker in Afghanistan and Iraq? Is that the same peace you went to broker in Lebanon? Really? There's no peace you brokering. How about you saying, okay, it's all about selfish interests lining up, and when selfish interests line up, they come and they pretend that we're here for peace. We're here to make two brothers stop fighting, while all they're doing is theatrics for the people, yet they steal the market. Yeah, here's electric things. Look at cobalt batteries and how they're in demand right now in a world where everything is headed electric. We're in a world where there's mass production. Tesla is celebrating 500,000, producing 500,000 Teslas. That means
Right.
those are 500,000 cobalt batteries. If you want to broker peace, stop being the market for these smuggled products.
But that's not their mission. Their mission is to literally take over Africa. Their mission is to diminish Africans and basically take over Africa because, honey, that has
Buy
always
the
been the goal.
cobalt.
Absolutely. But we have a generation that will not take that crap.
Yes,
We have a
no,
generation that will be like, what kind of theatrics are you guys putting on this delivering peace in the Congo and Rwanda? Honestly.
Office. We were at the Oval Office together. It was beautiful. And I think it's just a very important day. And we have other leaders from other countries. And you said such beautiful things. I'd love to have you come up. We'll finish up, and then I'd love to have you come up and if you could issue the words that you just issued backstage. Which usually doesn't work, Usually never happens. They said it much better before, but you will probably do better up here. But I'd love to have you say how you felt because it is an amazing day. Great day for Africa, great day for the world, and for these
Are you serious? This
two
is
countries.
so I don't even want to play this like for long because what?
And there,
And we did have the video. Was it last week when he was saying he doesn't want Somalians to be in his country? I don't want Somalians to in the United States of America.
Yet here,
Somalis.
yet here he is brokering peace.
Yeah. It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up.
A
But
bit ago he was spewing racist remarks all over White House.
mm,
And now he's brokering peace in the same continent he was spewing racist remarks about.
We have so much to be proud of, and I
so
want
this
to
is what they
thank.
say. In a historic moment at the Donald J. Trump U.S. Institute of Peace, I don't like that. That is actually upsetting me right now. Just reading that, US President Donald Trump joined Rwandan President Paul Kagame and DRC President Felix Tshisekedi to sign the landmark. These are the ones we call, people were controlled. Signing stuff.
Puppets.
Come on. To sign the landmark Washington Accords, ending decades. Can you come and read this?
The
Because I'm
Washington
tired.
Accord.
I'm tired.
The Washington
This is too
Accord.
much. It's the audacity of even whoever wrote this.
More like,
Ending decades of conflict that claimed millions of lives. Really?
they're calling it the Washington Accord. More like the Washington fraud.
Mhm.
I mean,
Mhm. The agreement establishes a permanent ceasefire, disarmament, refugee returns, justice, and economic cooperation. We shouldn't even cooperate on this.
so if okay now for us to understand and look at this peace thing is brokering between Chekedi and Kagame,
Yeah.
we need to look at the history of Rwanda. And these people started fighting because of
Mhm.
tribal conflict. And
Absolutely.
if you look at whatever they're saying to broker the peace, it has nothing to do with how the war started. So how can you come and say that we're coming to fix this war, blah blah blah, you guys are not gonna fight, yet you guys haven't addressed the issue, the core
Back.
It's okay, by the way.
Yeah,
I
they
understand.
don't need to help us with anything.
Yes, and it's okay. There's something good with that you shouldn't you shouldn't watch your brother fight and continue watching them fight. It's good to come in between brothers. Who
No,
fight
they
and
don't.
try.
But the thing is, they don't care. It is
So
just an act.
yes,
Yeah.
we are saying the principle of helping out brothers fighting stop is a good principle.
From who?
But what we condemn is
From who though?
using it.
From who though?
What we are condemning is using the same tactic for personal gain rather than making the brothers stop fighting.
But from who?
Yes.
We need our own African presidents to come together, not another foreign president because they think they're superior than us to bring peace. So even though he was doing it for a good cause, we still did not need them to do this.
And that's exactly what I was saying. Saying it's good heart.
No, it's not.
It's good
From
heart.
who? From him or from who?
Wait, Kidogo, I say.
That's what I'm trying to understand.
I'm trying to say the principle of anybody, just
Okay.
whoever it is, coming in and saying, okay, you guys should stop fighting. What is the problem? Okay, you come and mediate. Anyone doing that, it's good. We appreciate that, and it comes from a good place, and that's something we should encourage. What we shouldn't encourage is using the same tactic, not for helping a brother genuinely. You're doing it for your own personal gain, and that's where
But that's what they do.
That's where our statements agree with each other.
But what I will definitely take out from that statement or refute is I would never trust a globalist to bring peace, even though it's from the true intention that they think they want you to think about.
That's why we're
Because
saying
they cannot
the
be
intention
trusted.
behind the principle. If you're coming to stop two people fighting for you to get for personal reasons,
Okay.
is what we're saying we are against and
Right.
we do not support. But if you're doing it from a perspective, okay, we really genuinely don't want you guys to continue fighting. So if you come and pretend that you making these brothers stop fighting, but technically you're only doing it for the theatrics, that is what we do not condone. That is what we do not support. And as Africans, we need to rise up against fake aid and fake peace accords and fake
Please.
peace treaties.
Yes.
Because these peace treaties are not tackling the actual problem that is facing us, as
Right.
that is facing those wars. You want an actual peace treaty?
It's a
Get
leader yourself.
M23 out of
Thank you.
fucking
Sorry.
Congo. Get M23 out of fucking Congo. You're talking about brokering peace. We should see American troops chasing M23 militia out of the fucking Congo, but sending a fucking piece of paper. How does that get the M23 out of the fucking Congo? They don't. They're still going to continue the operations and continue their garbage in
Right.
Congo.
And for me, it's the fact that he's saying we've been trying to settle this war for decades.
It's pretense.
What the hell?
And we don't like that.
You know? On to another conversation about John D. Rockefeller,
The first billionaire.
the man who created the system you can never escape.
Mm.
Do you know one or two things about that?
Mr. Rockefeller.
Yeah.
1-year-old man in Cleveland, Ohio, controlled 4% of America's oil refining capacity. By 1880, he controlled 90%. By 1904, he controlled 91% of oil production, 85% of final sales, and had created the template for every monopoly that exists today. His name was John D. Rockefeller, and the system he built, the corporate structures he invented, the monopolistic tactics he perfected, they didn't die when Standard Oil was broken up in 1911. They evolved, they spread, and they control your life right now in 2025. The gasoline you pump, the drugs you buy, the tech platforms you use, the food you eat, the banks you borrow from, every single one uses the Rockefeller playbook. Vertical integration, horizontal consolidation, regulatory capture, tax-exempt foundations that shape policy, and market dominance so complete that competition becomes impossible. Rockefeller didn't just build an oil empire, he built the architecture of modern corporate control. And you cannot escape it, because the system isn't Standard Oil. The system is the method. And that method has been replicated by every dominant corporation for 150 years. Amazon uses it, Google uses it, Pfizer uses it, JP Morgan uses it. They all learned from the same blueprint, the Rockefeller blueprint. Control the supply chain vertically, eliminate competitors horizontally, capture the regulators, use philanthropy to buy legitimacy. And when the government finally breaks you up, make sure the pieces you control are worth more than the whole. Let me show you exactly how Rockefeller built this system, how he used it to become the richest man in history, how Standard Oil's breakup actually made him richer, and why 114 years after that breakup, you still live in the world Rockefeller designed. Because understanding the system isn't academic, it's survival. The system is designed to extract wealth from you and concentrate it at the top. And once you see how it works, you'll see it everywhere. John Davison Rockefeller was born July 8, 1839 in Richford, New York. His father was a con man who sold fake cancer cures. His mother was a devout Baptist. This combination, the con man's ruthlessness and the Baptist's moral certainty, would define Rockefeller's entire approach to business. He would destroy competitors without mercy while believing God had chosen him to organize industry for the betterment of mankind. This wasn't hypocrisy. This was genuine conviction that his monopoly was moral because it brought order to chaos and efficiency to waste. In 1859, oil was discovered in Titusville, Pennsylvania. The oil rush began. Thousands of prospectors flooded into western Pennsylvania to drill. Fortunes were made and lost overnight. It was chaos, boom and bust. Overproduction collapsed prices, then shortages spiked them. Rockefeller, who was 20 years old and working as a bookkeeper in Cleveland, saw opportunity, but not in drilling. Drilling was volatile, risky, dependent on luck. Rockefeller saw opportunity in refining, turning crude oil into kerosene for lamps. That was the real business. In 1863, Rockefeller invested $4,000 in his first oil refinery in Cleveland. Within 2 years, it was the largest refinery in Cleveland. But Cleveland had 30 refineries. Competition was fierce. Margins were thin. Most refineries operated at the edge of bankruptcy. This is where Rockefeller's genius emerged. He didn't try to compete on price. He tried to eliminate competition entirely. And he did it through a method that would become the foundation of corporate America. Vertical integration. Vertical integration means controlling every stage of production. Most refineries just refined oil. They bought crude from drillers, refined it, and sold kerosene to distributors. They controlled one step. Rockefeller decided to control all the steps. He bought the barrel-making factories, so he didn't have to buy barrels. He bought tank cars and railroads to ship his own oil. He bought his own warehouses for storage. He bought the distribution networks to sell directly to consumers. Every step that used to be a separate business generating profit for someone else, Rockefeller brought in-house. This gave him massive cost advantages. While competitors paid 25 cents per barrel from barrel makers, Rockefeller made his own for 15 cents. While competitors paid railroads to ship oil, Rockefeller owned the tank cars and negotiated secret rebates. The railroads paid him to ship his oil and charged competitors more. This wasn't just efficient, this was predatory. Rockefeller could sell kerosene at prices that put competitors out of business while still making profit. And that's exactly what he did. By 1870, Rockefeller created Standard Oil Company of Ohio. His refinery capacity had grown from one small plant to the largest refining operation in the world. But he still only controlled 4% of American refining. That wasn't enough. So Rockefeller launched the second phase of his strategy, horizontal integration. If vertical integration is controlling the entire supply chain, horizontal integration is buying or destroying every competitor. In 1872, Rockefeller initiated what historians call the Cleveland Massacre. Over 3 months, Rockefeller approached every refinery owner in Cleveland. He offered to buy their refineries. If they agreed, he paid fair market value and often
The
hired.
system you cannot escape. Let's talk about the African system. Do you think you can definitely redefine it?
If you're crazy enough to do it, it started with a crazy enough money to create a system. So you also need to be crazy enough to revolt it. So I believe the craziness that made it begin is the same craziness that is needed to kill it.
Right. Is it a conversation about one currency, one army?
Well, it's a conversation of letting the generations keep on building themselves and letting time pass, because every generation that comes, it comes with a crazier mindset.
Mhm.
And that is the crazy that we need to revolt finally. Because look at us and look at our parents. Our parents were not allowed to question authority.
Yeah, that is true.
Uh,
Yeah,
Generation Alpha are screaming at their parents.
I know.
At a very young age. A kid at 6 years is asking them, Anfanye?
I know.
Anfanye? Asking about the mother.
Mm.
Anfanye?
What is that?
What is the mother going to do to me?
Okay.
What will mom do to me? Nothing. That's what the kid is saying, and that's a 6-year-old. So imagine a point will come whereby this 6-year-old with such crazy mentality of, okay, me, I don't give a fuck about this shit anymore, is becoming a parent now. What about their kids? So with time, the more crazy will come, and the more crazy comes, the more crazy you build, and when crazy builds up, crazy will revolt. When crazy revolts, it will bring back system and order. Because the same crazy that was used to instill,
Right.
because it's craziness that will instill such kind of system.
Absolutely.
That's a system instilled with craziness. That's a person who is. Let me ask you, if you were given a lifetime to think of psychological tricks that will make people indoctrinate to a system, do you think you would achieve that without that craziness of wanting to imprison people?
The question again?
The question is, if you're told to come up with theories and psychological phenomena that will entrap people, will you do that if you're not crazy enough to?
Oh, you have to be crazy enough to do that.
To want to have people enslaved.
You have to be crazy enough to have people enslaved.
Yes.
Yes.
So that same crazy that will have people think of, okay, you're crazy enough to want to enslave people. That is the same crazy that will overthrow you. And it's a simple equation.
I get your point. True.
It's a very simple equation, because it's the same crazy that was used to create the system.
Absolutely.
The same crazy will be used to destroy it.
It has to be
Nothing
the same
else. Iron
balance.
sharpens
Iron. Yeah.
Yes.
I agree with you. That actually makes sense. We'll definitely skip forward to another conversation right away. This is the one and only. I definitely understand you've actually gotten a bit of his concept. It's Joshua Mapanga.
Yes.
And he's talking about Africa needs military dictators.
Yes.
Why do you say yes?
Africa needs a crazy person. That's the thing. Africa needs a crazy person. That's what Africa needs.
Yeah.
Crazy people. And then once these crazy people are in strategic places in the country, on the continent, that's it. We need to bring back craziness. People like Gaddafi. Come rain, come sunshine. Whether you say Gaddafi was a slave trader or what or what or what or what or what, we need some craziness.
From
Well,
what perspective?
from the perspective of how Gaddafi fought for his people. We're
Okay.
not looking at how he oppressed black
Yeah.
people. We're looking at, we want an African leader.
And the vision
who
that
will-
he had.
Yes, for
Right.
his people. We
Absolutely.
need an African leader who come to us and have similar visions for us black people.
Yes.
Someone who will come and say, okay, we are kicking out these international corporations. Fuck off. So that means, and that begins with
Ibrahim Traore is doing that.
that begins with privatization of nationalization of oil reservoirs in the continent,
Absolutely.
meaning all the money gotten and
Yeah.
that is being made from selling this oil to the globe goes back to Africa. That same money is the same money that you're going to pay for education for nuclear weapons, is the same money we are going to buy artillery and build factories for bullets.
Right.
It is the same money we will use to pay our joint military. And I concur with Joshua Maponga, and I say that Africa needs one currency, one army, one government.
Right.
Africans for Africa.
Absolutely. Say that again.
Africans for Africa.
Yes. The future is here.
Yes.
The future is Sankara.
Yes. Wako wengi. There are very many Sankaras
Absolutely.
in this existence.
That is so true.
And I'm proud that Generation Alpha, this generation in
Yes. Yes.
there are very many. 80% of that generation is a generation of Sankaras. People will be like, okay, I'm fine.
Right.
We want such people to come and ask the white man that same question.
Yes.
I'm fine. What will you do to me?
Yes.
What will you do? Do it. I'm
Yeah.
not scared.
Absolutely. Yes, I like.
So here we are in Zimbabwe, buying our oil from Iraq and Russia, thousands of miles away from here. But right across the Zambezi, there's oil. The same budget you are using for shipping oil from there, as government, why not walk across there and develop that refinery and then pump through Zambia or through Kazungula, one pipe on the Zambezi River. Angola is here, Zambia is here, Namibia is here, Botswana is here, Zimbabwe is here. Build a city, a new city right there, and service each other. So look at 5 countries right now sitting on a table and say, you have oil, let's support you. Congo, you have maize and agricultural space, let's support you. Botswana, you have diamonds and jewelry, let's support you. You know, Zimbabwe, you have this. It is this strategic conversation that, and the weakest link on African unity are our presidents. Because apparently when we become united, they'll lose power. So all of them are holding on to their seats. They don't want this thing to happen.
What did he say?
Because there's some of them even
When
claim.
Africans unite,
And there's one president. Yeah, and there's one president. Absolutely. Yes.
Joshua Maponga has said something
Okay.
very, very good, and I want to quote, and I'm going to concur
Okay.
with him. And he asked, how much money do you use to ship oil from
Yes.
Russia?
Yes.
Well, your neighbor in Angola, less than 500, 600, 700, maybe let's say 1,000 kilometers away from you, yet you shipping oil from tens of thousands of kilometers away. How much money will you use? How much money will you incur to ship oil from Russia, to ship oil from Iraq, vis-a-vis oil that is upper candle next to your neighbor? You will actually use fewer coins. You get more money to corrupt and do and steal if that's what you want to do, steal from government.
Absolutely.
You get more money to steal, and you will develop your fellow African country. Joshua Maponga we should slap the living shit out of these fucking 54 presidents and then reduce their powers from presidents and call them governors.
Come on.
And
Yes.
then let each country be now known as, it's no longer the Republic, the state of Kenya, or it's no longer the Republic of Kenya, but it's the state.
Or
Let
provinces.
us convert our countries to counties.
Yes, I like that.
Because the kind of systems that we have right now, every country has a lot of representation. That is a lot of money hemorrhaging.
Oh, talk about it. Yes.
That is a lot of money hemorrhaging. We are going to go. Now, let us take a case example in Kenya. Kenya, we have 47 fucking governors, and on top of that fucking governor, there is a senator to oversee this fucking governor. So those are 47 twice. That is 150 what? No, that is 90 what? 94. 47 twice. 94, right?
Yes.
So those are 94 legislators who are paid 700,000 shillings monthly. These are people who are given money to bring development. Right? On top of that monthly salary, which is outrageous, which is absurd. Then we destroy it further, and then have each county, we have it subdivided further, with each subdivision having a representative, and now we have a ward representative, a member of county assembly. We have representation from in the ward level, we have representation on the county level, we have representation on the constituency level, and we have representation on the on national government level. All these people have been entitled to and have been placed in charge of overseeing public offers and making sure there is development. We've hired an army of overseers who are doing a very terrible job at it. Why are we having our gold being guarded by 1,000 people whose work is stealing it, when we can have gold guarded by 10 who will shoot the shit out of you? Kenya needs a president, 5 representatives. We go back to our provinces, we go back to provincial commissioners, and then maybe call them governors. So Kenya has a president. How many provinces does Kenya have? Northeastern, Eastern, Central, maybe let's say 7.
Okay.
Let's say Kenya has 7 provinces, so those are 7 governors and 7 senators. And then instead of having fucking members of representatives, let us have community leaders who are not paid to say what's happening in the people, to represent the people. These are our MPs now, but you're not paid. You're only catered for your transport, you're paid for your house, you're paid for your car, your fuel, you're paid for to see this and this and this, but you're not doing a servant. You're a public servant. You're a public servant. Do that, serve. You're not here to get rich. You're going to get rich, go into the private sector, open companies. Truth of the matter, simple and clear. And then once we go to that system, we'll have fewer representation, so meaning more money for development, and that gives us room to have a joint president. Having a united president who will speak for all Africans, who is the president of the Federal Republic of Africa.
Absolutely.
And this president has military authority and military power to protect us in our African continent, because right now we are defenseless if we ever enter into World War III.
That
we don't have nuclear weapons.
Absolutely.
That
no
president who is in charge of Africa will ensure that Africans have nuclear weapons.
Shout out to Burkina Faso actually doing that. Yeah.
That African president who will be president of all Africa will ensure that we have an army strong enough to defeat anyone.
I definitely agree with you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the things we should definitely be working with right now. But
bring
the fact
us
that
crazy as motherfuckers.
We don't have conscious leaders like that.
Bring us our own. Bring us a Kim Jong-un. It's okay, but we will have military power.
Yeah.
Bring us a Kim Jong-un. Those are the kind of
national
people
budget
he's talking about.
Is their family businesses. To zero. Basically, we're a junk state. Medicines were not coming in, machinery was not coming in, and no country would give us loans.
Yeah.
So companies closed, banks closed and went home. Inflation flew to the sky. But as of the last few years, we've seen young men in the country beginning to take advantage of the political unstable environment and creating new businessmen altogether, oil suppliers. We have billionaires now in Zimbabwe, millionaires. And slowly but surely, we're beginning to see development, roads, infrastructures.
So does it mean President Mnangagwa is doing good for his people? Is he one of the African leaders you look at and you're like, this is good?
Unfortunately, the plight of Mnangagwa is an inherited propaganda machinery of the West, which he inherited from Mugabe. And him being on the same political party, the Western world did not have confidence that he would actually be able to take the country and transform it. They had opted for a young man called Chamisa, who was an opposition leader, who was going to become another puppet government in the hand of the Western colonizer to bring back the same white people whom Mugabe had taken land away from. But as I'm sitting right now, I have no doubt to neither criticize except to encourage him on the path of transformation that he has taken. The roads are being built, hospitals are being repaired, stadiums are being repaired, new parliament has just been completed, industries are being resuscitated. Right now, we're one of the biggest steel companies that is coming up, Manize. And as of 2 weeks ago, Kudakwashi Tagurei has been put as a chairman, the billionaire, has put as a chairman of the land tenure issue, where they're now giving people the 99-year leases of a land. They've created a banking system, including an insurance from the government as the backup of the fund, so people can now take their piece of land, the whole country, which is the difference which we have in most of these urbanized, colonized cities, where only your home that is in town can be insurable with a bank and you can withdraw a loan. A grandmother sitting in Nakuru or in Kirinyaga in the hills there cannot take their land and walk up to the bank and say, can I have money for this? But 80% of Zimbabwe is mineable. And because of that, it means that every piece of land, there is stuff on the land, there is stuff underneath the land. So now we can be able to take our pieces of land and walk up to the government with the 99-year lease. We now walk up to the government and access funding for development. And this almost gives us a full food security strategy, a full mining the table has turned.
Great. It's good that you've mentioned what happened with the sanctions in your country, because your neighbor, almost down there, South Africa, faced the same wrath. And actually for South Africa, it's worse because this fight has been on. The president has even gone to the White House, but still they don't seem to agree. What is your feeling about that? And why do you think Trump is hell-bent with South Africa on tariffs?
Interesting enough, South Africa's politics is multifaceted. Even the hypocrisy of America is exposed. Because when South Africa was at war, America was part of the problem. But also it must be mentioned, but we must speak softly, that the South African government is actually registered as a company
in the US,
the American Stock Exchange, with CEOs and chairmen. And that has a direct business interest of the Americans over the South African business too. When South Africa decides to cross swords with Israel over Gaza and the Palestinians, the Americans did not take that lightly, because Israel is a favorite of America. As such, the pressure to America, from America to South Africa, was actually hell-bent in the South Africa supporting Palestine. So you also have that dynamic. And thirdly, South Africa being one of the key financial hubs in the South, should America lose its grip on South Africa, they will have lost the entire of the Southern Hemisphere.
And now they're coming with such thing as peace summits, which is not really about peace, guys, but are definitely coming to the end of the show over here. We were talking about redefining the culture. Your last take on this, the one and only Sankara.
Long live Mugabe.
Okay.
Long live Mugabe, because Mugabe, when Mugabe was in government in Zimbabwe, he made sure that the white man never owned land in Rhodesia. He made sure no one owned land in northern Rhodesia, as it was called Kitambo. Long live Mugabe, and to the person who was crazy enough to imprison the black person. Let me tell you something. The craziness is coming back. Yes.
Right.
The craziness is coming back. Trust me, that craziness that you sat down with and decided to come up with very fiendish theories and whatever you did come up with, systems, mining, whatever you did come up with, your time is coming.
And literally created the little fragmentations of countries we do have in Africa, because Africa was just Africa with no countries. The same craziness he's talking about, because it's a generation of fearless individuals. You can download our app on the Google Play Store, stream on www.blackwhitefireradionow.com. It's time to basically reclaim our power, because it is an awakening, honeys. But take care and have a fabulous one. Before that, let's listen into the health and benefit of some of the supplements we do have for you.
Beetroot, nature's powerhouse, Packed with vitamins, antioxidants, and nitrates, it's known to support heart health, boost stamina, and improve blood circulation. Our beetroot is naturally grown and harvested at peak ripeness. The roots are cleaned, dried, and finely ground to preserve their rich nutrition content, giving you all the benefits in one pure form. Add 1 teaspoon of beetroot powder to your juice, smoothie, or water, or take it in capsule form as recommended by your healthcare provider. Beetroot helps enhance endurance, lower blood pressure, and keep you feeling energized and balanced all day. Fuel your body with the natural power of beetroot. Stay strong, stay healthy. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
$90. Have a great afternoon, evening, wherever you are. My name is Irton Lunguria, the host of Let's Talk with Irton. Thank you, Sankara, for always availing yourself. It's such an honor. Always great, amazing educational moments with you.
Yes, indeed, and anything to make sure the African is debunked and uncolonized. Everything to make sure that doesn't work, and everything is going to fail. So
absolutely,
viva la Africa!
Long live Africa! Our time.
It's our time, and the craziness is coming.
Absolutely, to taking over everything that was eroded and stolen away from us. Much love.
Greetings and salutations, man. If you're Andrew Robinson, you're Jamaican brother.
What happened to the loyalty level?
I'm just like a fan first and foremost. Yeah, I want to thank you for caring. I want to sound like everybody.
One hit at a time. Get ready. The hits keep coming. Salutations, massive news. Andrew Robinson, your Jamaican brother, all the way in Switzerland. And you're tuning into the Black Hot Fire Radio.
1 hour of the hottest tracks and coolest mashups of the moment. You're now listening to the best music.
Get ready. The hits keep coming.